An unassuming white building off the freeway. This is Detroit. Standing alone with its gated entries in the shadow of the Henry Ford Hospital, Bernard White had battled to clear the abandoned structures that surrounded him. Now paved and gated, Bernard feels at times like he is the last man standing. Born and raised in Detroit, Bernard spent his first 8 years out of college working as an engineer.
I wanted to become an engineer because I was working at the Detroit Water and Sewage Department, and at that time, working as a drafting co-op aide, everybody in the water department who were higher up were engineers. So at that time in my life, I just thought I was probably going to be at the water department the rest of my life, and I figured I better start going to engineering school so I have a chance to move up in my career. So it wasn't anything that I said I wanted to do or was looking forward to do. I didn't have a burning desire for it, but I soon realized after I graduated that I wanted to do something else, and I started working for a construction company, and that's kind of how I cut my teeth into construction.
He got his start in the industry on Cobo Hall's 1986 renovation and the platform for the Joe Louis Fist. Even with his success and great experiences at Turner and Walbridge construction companies, Bernard sacrificed the security of being the perpetual employee and set his sights on becoming an employer.
I based my company in Detroit because, quite frankly, I was in Detroit, and I have to give a lot of credit to the then Mayor Coleman A. Young, who at the time had executive orders in place to give work to sheltered market businesses, black-owned businesses, African-American-owned businesses in the city of Detroit. So being in Detroit already, and also being African-American, it created a lot of opportunity for me. So it made great business sense to be here. I knew the community. I had done a lot of work here with a previous company in construction, so working in Detroit was an easy decision for me, and I'm still here today. White Construction has been involved with a lot of projects over the years, and so many that I can't name or even remember them all. But a few projects come to mind, and if I had to only name one, it would probably be the Wildlife Interpretive Gallery at the Detroit Zoo. And the reason why I say that we did that project back in 1996, it was for the Detroit Zoo. It was a job that we did all by ourselves. It was a job that we had to work close with the architect and the Detroit Zoo director at that time. He was a new director coming in from Dallas, and he had worked at a previous zoo, and he wanted to get this job off the ground and have it do very well, and that was going to be a signature first project, if you will. And so when he came to Detroit, we were already selected as the contractor, but we worked with him, and we got the job done, and he set a very, very, very tight schedule. Even though we said we think the job should be done in February or March of 1 year, he pushed and wanted us to be done that November. So he actually had a opening, if you will, and he had all the people who support and did the fundraising and gave money come to the Wildlife Interpretive Gallery while it was under construction. So we put down carpeting, and they put flowers in and everything, and we weren't complete, but they made it seem as if we were, and so they could show everybody what it was going to become. And we worked very hard to get as much done as we can, but we did finally get it done. And when I go out there now, and I just take my daughter out there and show her the butterfly garden, show her the terrazzo floor, the Nautilus floor that we did, the balcony that we added, and she see all the butterflies flying around, and I said, you know, your dad's company, White Construction, did this, and she's just in awe. She just loves all the magic that happens there. So every time I go to the zoo, you know, I love to look at all the various projects that we've done. The Wildlife Interpretive Gallery, Amphibiville, the polar bear exhibit, the otter exhibit. We built restroom stations out there, the tiger den. So I have a real romance for the Detroit Zoo because we've had the opportunity to do so much work there. It feels really good to be a part of so many venues in and around the city of Detroit. Sometimes I have to pinch myself because when I drive around the city, downtown, in the neighborhoods, a lot of projects downtown that we've been involved in, and I can literally say that we've had a big hand in rebuilding the city of Detroit. And we've had a lot of great opportunities. We worked on projects such as Comerica Park, Ford Field, and now the new hockey arena. We call that a hat trick, if you will. We're working on all three projects. M1 rail that's going on now. So all of those projects, in my opinion, are projects that have helped Detroit come back and help contribute to Detroit's comeback. So the fact that we've had the opportunity to be involved with those projects is just makes you feel really, really good. And sometimes you don't appreciate it until you get these jobs done and look back. But while you're in the midst of trying to get them done, it's a lot of work. You're trying to get it done. You just want to get it done and get out of there. But when you get done and you walk away, you come back a year or two later, you look at it and say, wow, we did this. And you remember different things that gave you challenges, things that were easy to get done, who did what, and where you were with it. And it's just a real good feeling to have a slight private thought to yourself to know what really happened to make that project come together and see all the people enjoying it and everything. And you had a big, big hand in it.
If you've walked through Detroit, you've likely walked through the work of W. Bernard White. White Construction has contributed in one form or another to over 100 projects in Southeast Michigan. Shed renovations at Eastern Market.
That's where Stafford goes.
Ford
He's
Field.
got it for the touchdown.
Detroit Water and Sewage Department's Administration Building. Various projects at the Detroit Zoo. MGM Grand Detroit's temporary casino. Comerica Park. The beautiful Campus Martius Park. The East Riverwalk. Key Bank of West Bloomfield. The Detroit Wayne County Port Authority Building. The St. John Providence Park Hospital in Novi. Wayne State University's Academic Administration Building. Wayne State University's David Adamani's Undergraduate Library.
111 and 110.
The Detroit Public Safety Headquarters. Detroit Police Department's Emergency Service Center Southwest. Rail stations for Detroit's new rail project known as the Q Line. The new Detroit Red Wings Arena. White Construction maintains a stellar reputation. Even throughout the public corruption crimes, the bankruptcy, and the downturned economy that hit Detroit hard, Bernard's integrity, hard work, and local knowledge was a significant factor in the award of the subcontract to build 20 rail stations from downtown to Grand Boulevard, known as the M1 Rail Project.
White Construction is very excited about the new M1 rail that will run on both sides of Woodward Avenue between downtown and Midtown. We are also excited about the new Detroit Entertainment and Event Center, one part of which is the new Detroit Red Wings Hockey Arena. That's going to be one of the nicest hockey arenas, if not the nicest arena in the United States, in my opinion. I'm so excited to have the opportunity to work on this. Both of those projects will have a lot of participation from Detroit businesses and Detroit residents for the trades. I am personally excited about making sure that we provide opportunities for Detroit businesses and Detroit residents on both projects. It's something that we have done successfully on many other projects, and we are excited to have a role in helping to make it happen again. We consider these signature projects to be two catalysts to continue to spur Detroit's great momentum and progress. I am extremely proud and honored to be involved in these historic and progressive initiatives in the city of Detroit. If I think about some of the things I'd like to accomplish professionally and personally before I retire, some of the things that come to mind is, of course, to have White Construction continue. And I'm working very hard right now to work with my nephew, Milton Jennings, and my son, Donovan White, so they can take on the leadership. I think they're doing a good job, and I hope they can keep the company going, and even more so, I hope they can grow the company. So I'm trying to help them get the type of training and experience they may need to do well. From a personal point of view, yes, I need to move on, so I want to try to relax and begin to enjoy my life, because White Construction, quite frankly, has kind of been my wife for the last 26 years. It's what I've done, it's what I had a passion for, and I put all my energy and efforts into in the last 26 years to help it to become what it is today. One of the things that White Construction would like to do, and I would like to be here to see happen, is to build a 20-story building or more on a solo basis. And in fact, I think back in 2008 when we did our annual plan, one of our BHAG goals was to build a 20-story building or higher by the year 2020. I'm hopeful that over the next 5 years we may get that opportunity. And now that Detroit is finally coming back, there may be a chance for a 20-story or higher building to be built. And if we could get the opportunity to build that building on a solo basis, not a partnership, not a joint venture, on a solo basis, and execute it in a very good and professional way, on time and within budget, that would really make me very, very happy. So I would love to see that happen. So that's my big, hairy, audacious goal and my dream, if you will, my vision. So if we can get that done, I would be very excited. We never had an opportunity to do a skyscraper, if you will. So that would be something that I would really love to have an opportunity to do.